Good morning students. This is video number 7 part 1 and here we will discuss chapter elements, compounds and mixtures means third chapter. So first of all beta we all know that substances are divided into two categories. Means we have a pure substances and we have impure substances. Now first of all we will study what are pure substances. A substance that cannot be split into simpler substances by physical means like filtration, sublimation or distillation is a pure substance. Means pure substance cannot be split into simpler substances. Now beta, pure substances are of two types. One is element, second is compound. Okay. Now here we are going to study about elements first of all. Understood the meaning of this chapter? Elements and compounds, these are pure substances, and mixture, that will be a impure substance. We will study later. So what is element beta? An element cannot be split into simpler substances by chemical means. Element is a pure substance and element cannot be split further into simpler substances by any possible chemical method. Now examples: hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, iron, copper, silver, gold, all are elements. Okay, because all cannot be split into simpler substances by chemical means. Now beta, chemical means what? Chemical means any method that is stronger than physical method. Okay, and physical methods we know that like filtration, sublimation, distillation and many more, these all are physical methods. Okay, and chemical methods, they are stronger than physical methods, and we say element cannot split into simpler substances by chemical means. It means elements cannot be split into simpler substances by physical means too. Okay, by physical method as well as by chemical method, element cannot be split into simpler substances. Now students, you all know different examples of elements. Now beta, all elements, they are represented by symbols, and in order to write symbol we have different rules. These rules now we are going to study. But the first rule is we will write a symbol of an element using first letter of its English name. Example, like if we talk about hydrogen. So its symbol will be capital H, that is first letter of its English name that we write in capital. Okay, first letter we always write in capital. Same way another element like carbon, so symbol will be capital C, that is the first letter of its English name. Then next we have for example nitrogen, symbol will be capital N, first letter of English name. Then next element like we have oxygen, symbol will be capital O. Next is sulfur, symbol will be capital S, that is the first letter of its English name. Now second rule to write symbol of any element beta, that is we will write two letters, first two letters or first letter along with one more letter. Okay, first letter we will write in capital, second letter we will write in small. Understood? Example like helium. Now beta, if we look in hydrogen and helium, for both we have first letter HH. Okay, so for helium if again we will write capital H, then we will get confused that H is the symbol of helium or of hydrogen. Okay, so for that we have a second rule, that is we will write a symbol with two letters, first two letters. So first letter we will write in capital H, and second letter we write in small e. Okay, and this is symbol of helium. Same way beta, we have another element like for example we have cobalt. Now again for cobalt first letter is capital C, so this C is same as that of this carbon, so we will not come to know that this C representing carbon or cobalt. Okay, so same way we will write over here first two letters, first in capital we have written, and second, that is the O, we will write in small. Okay, this is symbol for cobalt. Now beta, same way we have symbols for other elements. That is, first rule is what? We will write symbol using first letter of English name, that we will write in capital, or we write first two letter, and first letter we will write in capital, second letter we will write in small. That will be a symbol of an element. Now third rule beta, in some cases first two letters they will be similar. Okay, in that case we will write first letter and we will write third letter. That is the first letter if it will be, then second letter if it will be same, then third means the first consonant we will write. Okay, example is like magnesium, magnesium, and manganese. So you can see over here first letter is mm in both, so we will write mm, capital M, capital M. Now second letter again same, so in this case we will write first consonant. So here first consonant is G and here first consonant is N. So symbol for magnesium will be capital M small g, for manganese will be capital M small n. Now next rule beta, in some cases we write symbol from Latin name. For example, sodium. Now for sodium, we expect symbol will be capital S or it will be capital S small o. But these are not symbols of sodium, okay? Because this is symbol of sulfur and this is not a symbol of sodium. So symbol for sodium we write from its Latin name, that is the natrium. Natrium is a Latin name of sodium, so its symbol will be capital N small a. Same way for other elements, for example for iron. For iron symbol is capital F small e, and from where it came? It came from its Latin name, that is ferrum. Okay, so what is first rule beta? We will write first letter in capital of English name of element. We will write first two letters. First will be in capital, second will be in small. Then we will write first letter. Along with that we will write first consonant. Then we will write symbol of an element from its Latin name. Understood? Now here you can see we have some examples of an elements written with symbols. So helium symbol is first two letters He, aluminium Al, argon Ar, cobalt Co, chromium first and third C and R. Okay, so it will be capital C small r. Copper, that is C and small u. Okay, small u. Why? Because it is written from Latin name cuprum. First two letters you can see. Neon, capital N small e. Nickel, capital N small I. Magnesium and manganese, first and third. First letter and first consonant. Then first letter, first consonant. Then zinc, Zn. Then zirconium, that is the Zr, because beta see in these cases II again same. So we will write now first consonant. So it will be Z, capital Z small n, capital Z small r. Then sodium, we will write from Latin name natrium, will be capital N small a. Iron, we will write from Latin name ferrum, will be capital F small e. You can see first two letters. Silver will from again Latin name, that is the argentum, so it will be capital A small g. Then gold, Latin name is iurum, so we will write capital A small u. So like this way beta we will write symbols of different elements using first letter, first two letters, or first letter and any consonant, that is the first consonant, or from Latin name. Now we will start about compound. Now what is compound beta? Compound is also a pure substance. Element is a pure substance, but element cannot be split into simpler substances by chemical means as well as by physical means. But compound is a pure substance and can be split into simpler substances by chemical means. Now chemical means they are stronger than physical means. So compound can be split by chemical means but not by physical means, because physical means they are weaker than chemical means. Physical means physical methods like filtration, sublimation or distillation. So understood the difference between element and compound? Element cannot be split by physical method or by chemical method. Compound can be split by chemical method but not by physical method. Now beta, actually what is definition of compound? Compound is formed by combination of two or more elements. When two or more elements they combine, they form compound. Understood? So compound is formed by combination of two or more elements. Here we have a different examples of compounds like water, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, calcium carbonate, sugar. All these are compounds. Okay. Now if we talk about water, water is compound and is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. H2 plus O2, they will combine. These two gases, they will combine. They will form water. Same way, carbon dioxide is a compound and is formed by combination of carbon, which is solid in state, and oxygen, which is gaseous in state. Same way, sulfur dioxide is formed by combination of sulfur and oxygen gas. Calcium carbonate is formed by combination of calcium means calcium and carbonate means carbon and oxygen. Okay, so formed by combination of calcium, carbon and oxygen. Same way, sugar is formed by combination of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. For water, formula is H2O. For carbon dioxide, formula is CO2. For sulfur dioxide, formula is SO2. And for calcium carbonate, this is calcium Ca and carbonate CO3. And for sugar, we have different formulas that depend upon the type of sugar. Next we have splitting of a compound into simpler substances. Now beta, here we have studied compound like water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen gases. So water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen gases. Okay, that splitting now we will do. Now beta, electrolysis of water. Electrolysis means we will pass electricity through water and we will see the change in water. Okay. So beta, what will happen when we pass electricity through water? Water means H2O. So when we pass electricity through water, then water will be converted into hydrogen and oxygen gases. Okay, water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen gas. So when we pass electricity through water, then it will decompose. It will give us H2 and O2 gases. So electrolysis is a chemical decomposition brought about by passing an electric current. Means we will pass electric current through this liquid and there will be a decomposition of water. That is called as electrolysis of water. Now beta, pure water we know that is bad conductor of electricity. Pure water means no ion will be present over here. Conductor of electricity beta is only because of presence of ions. But in case of pure water we have no ion. Okay, so that's why pure water is a bad conductor of electricity. But beta, it can conduct electricity if we add some amount of acid to this. Okay, so we will study here acidulated water. Acidulated water means in water we will add some amount of acid, okay, and then water become acidulated, and acidulated water is a good conductor of electricity because this acidulated water will contain ions. Okay, acid will form ion and that acid again will form ion in water. So that's why there will be a conduction of electricity. So understood, pure water is a bad conductor of electricity, but to pure water if we add some amount of acid like hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, then it will become acidulated and it will conduct electricity. In order to see decomposition of water when we pass electricity, first of all we will take water in a container and in that we will take two electrodes. First one is cathode and second will be anode. And one electrode we will connect with negative terminal of battery and second we will connect with positive terminal of battery. Now beta, when we connect these two electrodes with these terminals of battery, we will see that there will be a passage of electric current through this water. And when electric current will pass through this water, then what will happen? This water will decompose into hydrogen and oxygen gas. Okay, so this is acidulated water that we will take in a container when we pass electricity. So electrolysis will occur and accordingly hydrogen gas will be collected at cathode electrode and oxygen gas will be collected at anode electrode. So here we will collect hydrogen gas, means on the side that is connected with the negative terminal of the battery, and here we will get oxygen gas at anode, means that is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Now how we see the presence of hydrogen gas or presence of oxygen gas over here? Okay, so hydrogen gas we know this gas will burn with pop sound and this oxygen gas will supports burning. Okay, so like this way we can test the formation of hydrogen and oxygen gas. Beta, keep in mind hydrogen gas, whenever we bring fire close to this hydrogen gas, it burn with pop sound, and oxygen gas we know supports burning. Okay, so like this way we can test the presence of hydrogen and oxygen gas during electrolysis. Next we have thermal decomposition. Now beta, thermal means heating and decomposition means compound will decompose. It will split into simpler substances. Decomposition means splitting of a substance into simpler substances. And thermal means we are heating. So what is thermal decomposition? It is splitting of a substance into simpler substances upon heating. Understood the definition of thermal decomposition? This is nothing but a splitting of substance. Now beta, for example, if we take calcium carbonate is nothing but chalk having formula CaCO3. So when we heat calcium carbonate, then calcium carbonate will decompose and it will give calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium oxide having formula CaO and carbon dioxide having a CO2. Same way, zinc carbonate, when we will heat it, it will be converted into zinc oxide and carbon dioxide. Sodium hydrogen carbonate, when we heat, will decompose into sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide and water. Same way, lead nitrate, when we heat, will be converted into lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen gas. Now beta, in calcium carbonate, you can see over here formula is CaCO3. So this CO3, first of all, it will give us carbon dioxide, then calcium oxide will be formed. Same way, zinc carbonate, CO3 will give carbon dioxide and zinc oxide will be formed because one oxygen remains there. Then sodium hydrogen carbonate, formula is NaHCO3. So this CO3, first of all, it will give carbon dioxide, then this hydrogen will give water, and then there will be formation of sodium oxide or sodium carbonate. Then same way, lead nitrate, formula is PbNO3. So it will give first of all nitrogen dioxide, oxygen and then lead oxide. Next we will study compounds are represented by formulae. Means for every compound we will have a different formula, and in that formula beta we will write all elements that will be present during the formation of that compound. Means a compound is represented by formula which shows how many atoms of which element constitute that compound. For example, if we talk about beta water, for water formula is H2O. Now what does it mean? H2O means 2 hydrogen elements present and 1 oxygen element present over here. Okay. So from formula of any chemical compound we will come to know that what type of elements present and how many atoms of that element present in that compound. Same way, for carbon dioxide formula is CO2. It means in carbon dioxide carbon element is present and oxygen element is present. 1 atom of carbon and 2 atoms of oxygen present. Sulfur dioxide formula is SO2. 1 sulfur atom present and 2 atoms of oxygen element present. So for nitrogen dioxide will be NO2. Now beta, carbon dioxide, carbon will be 1, di means 2, so oxygens they will be 2, O2. Sulfur dioxide, sulfur will be 1, dioxide, di means 2, oxide means oxygen, so 2 oxygens you have to write. Same way, nitrogen dioxide NO2. Ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen will be present. Formula is NH3. Hydrochloric acid, hydrochloric, hydrogen and chlorine will be present. Okay. So HCl, sulfuric acid beta, here hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen will be present. H2SO4 is formula. Nitric acid, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen will be present. HNO3 formula. Sodium hydroxide, sodium will be present. Hydroxide, hydrogen and oxygen will be present. NaOH. Sodium carbonate, sodium will be present. Carbonate means C, that is the carbon. Oxygen will be present. Na2CO3. Sodium hydrogen carbonate means sodium will be present, hydrogen will be present. Carbonate means carbon and oxygen will be present. So NaHCO3 is formula. Calcium carbonate, calcium means Ca will be present. Carbonate means carbon and oxygen will be present. CaCO3 is formula. Lead nitrate, lead means plumbum will be present, Pb. Then nitrate means nitrogen and oxygen will be present. Formula is PbNO3 twice. Then ammonium chloride beta, ammonium means nitrogen and hydrogen will be present and chloride means chlorine will be present. NH4Cl is formula. Ammonium sulfate, ammonium means again nitrogen and hydrogen, so NH4 will be present and sulfate means sulfur and oxygen. Glucose, glucose is a form of sugar we know, so formula is it will have carbon, hydrogen and oxygen elements. So it will be C6H12O6. Sucrose, that is the cane sugar, formula is C12H22O11. So you have to learn beta all formulas of compounds written over here. Next we will study about important characteristics of compounds. First characteristic is what beta? That is definition only. Compound can be split into its constituent elements only by chemical means and not by physical means. Physical means physical methods like filtration, sublimation, distillation. For example beta, we have studied that water cannot be split into hydrogen and oxygen gas. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen gas and cannot be split into hydrogen and oxygen gas by physical methods like filtration, sublimation or distillation, but can be split into hydrogen and oxygen gas by chemical method like electrolysis we have studied. Same way, water we know that is made up of hydrogen and oxygen gas. So water can be split into hydrogen gas. How? When to water we add sodium metal beta. Sodium metal is reactive metal. Reactive means it will react. Okay, it will react to large extent. So its reactivity is more. So sodium will react with water. It will form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas will be formed. So you can see water, which is a compound, can be split into hydrogen. Okay, because it is made up of hydrogen. Same way, hydrochloric acid, which is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. You can see over here formula is HCl. So it is made up of hydrogen and chlorine. Okay, so this hydrochloric acid can be split into hydrogen. How? When we add again one more, that is the active metal magnesium. So when it will react with magnesium, it will form magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas will be formed. Same way, sulfuric acid, in which we have hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen elements made up of hydrogen element. Okay, so can be split into hydrogen element. How? When we add zinc to this. So when we add zinc, we will get zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Now see beta, active metals, we have few examples of active metals. You can write anywhere like sodium, magnesium, zinc. These all are active metals. So when we add these active metals to like water, hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, there will be a formation of hydrogen gas. Okay, because these all things, they are made up of hydrogen. So they will split into hydrogen, because we have studied about compound, that compound can be split into constituent element by chemical means. Second characteristic of compound is the properties of compound are entirely different from those of its constituent elements. Means beta, like if we study about water, we know that water is made by combination of hydrogen and oxygen gas, H2 and O2. They will combine, they will form water, H2O. Okay, so it means that properties of hydrogen and oxygen gas, they will be different, and properties of water will be different. We know beta that hydrogen is a combustible gas, oxygen supports combustion. But if we talk about water, water is neither a combustible substance and nor supports combustion. So we see that properties of hydrogen and oxygen, they are different from water. And also we know that hydrogen and oxygen, they are gaseous in state and water is liquid in state. So what we see beta, that is properties of compound, of every compound will be different from its constituent elements. Okay, may we have example of carbon dioxide, and we know that carbon dioxide having formula CO2. Now CO2 is gaseous in state, carbon is solid in state, oxygen is gaseous in state, carbon dioxide made up of carbon and oxygen gas. But carbon plus oxygen gas, we get carbon dioxide. This is in solid state, this is in gaseous state, this is again in gaseous state. So see, property of this is different from its constituent element. Okay, so that's why properties of compound will be different from the elements from that element will be made up. Then if we talk about another compound like mercurous iodide. Mercurous iodide is a product of two constituents beta. One is mercury is present over here, second is iodine. Okay, mercury and iodine both are present in mercurous iodide, and mercury we know that is silvery white liquid, iodine is violet black solid. But if we talk about mercurous iodide, that is different in color, means it is bright yellow in color. Okay, so there you can see we have a difference in properties. Understood? Same way, if we talk about copper sulfate pentahydrate having formula CuSO4, copper means Cu, sulfate means SO4, sulfur and oxygen, penta means 5 and hydrate means water, H2O. Hydrate means hydrous. Okay, hydrous means water. So beta, this copper sulfate pentahydrous is blue in color and is solid in state. Now see, it is made up of copper metal. Copper metal is yellow in color, red in color. Sulfur which is solid, yellow colored solid, and oxygen which is a colorless gas, hydrogen again which is a colorless gas. See, properties of its constituent elements, they are different, but property of this compound is differ. Okay, this compound is blue in color, that is different from its constituent elements. Next characteristic is elements combine in fixed proportion of atoms to form a compound. Means, for example, if we talk about water, so in every molecule of water beta, we will have 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. There will be no water molecule where we will have 1 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, 3 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. No. In every molecule of water, 2 hydrogens, they will combine with 1 atom of oxygen and they will form a water, H2O. So they will be present in fixed proportion. So here you can see, in case of water, hydrogen and oxygen will be present in 2:1 because 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Carbon dioxide, CO2, so 1 carbon and 2 oxygen will be present, 1:2. Same way for nitrogen dioxide, 1:2. Sulfur dioxide, 1:2. Hydrogen chloride, H and Cl present, so ratio will be 1:1. Sulfuric acid, hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen will be present, 2 hydrogen, 1 sulfur, 4 oxygen, so ratio will be 2:1:4. Nitric acid, HNO3, 1 hydrogen, 1 nitrogen, 3 oxygen. So ratio will be 1:1:3. Calcium carbonate. Calcium carbon oxygen will be present. 1 calcium, 1 carbonate. 1 calcium, 1 carbon, 3 oxygens. So ratio will be 1:1:3. Okay. So like this way you can see in all examples that elements, they will combine in fixed proportion of atoms to form compounds. Next characteristic is a compound contains the constituent elements in fixed proportion by mass. Means their mass will also be fixed. For example, beta, if we talk about water, now in higher classes you will study that if we talk about hydrogen and if we talk about oxygen, for 1 atom of hydrogen we will have a mass is equals to 1 and for oxygen it will be equals to 16. Okay, so what about water beta? We know that water having formula H2O, so 1 mass for hydrogen is 1, so we will write 2 into 1 plus 16, so total mass will be equals to 18. So what we see over here beta, when 2 hydrogens, they will combine with 1 oxygen, then there will be formation of water. Means 2 mass of hydrogen because 1 hydrogen having a equals to 1. So 2 masses of hydrogen, they will combine with 16 parts of oxygen. 2 parts of hydrogen will combine with 16 part of oxygen. So what about 1 hydrogen? 1 hydrogen will combine with 8 parts of oxygen. We have to divide it with 2. That is the 16 we have to divide with 2 because we have 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogens. 2 for hydrogen, 16 for oxygen. So when we will divide, we will get 8 for oxygen. So we will see beta, water contains 1 part of hydrogen, 8 parts of oxygen. So mass ratio of hydrogen to oxygen in water is 1:2. It means 1 gram of hydrogen will combine with 8 gram of oxygen. Okay, and we know the law of conservation of mass means if 1 gram of oxygen is combining with 8 gram of oxygen, then 9 gram of water will be formed. So same way, when 2 gram of hydrogen will combine with 16 gram of oxygen, then 18 gram of water will be formed. Now on the other hand, if we talk about carbon dioxide, made up of carbon and oxygen, carbon dioxide, carbon having mass that will be equals to 12 and for oxygen we know that 16. So here we have 2 oxygens, it will become 16 plus 16 is equals to 32. Okay, 12 parts combining with 32. So what about the 1 part? Okay, so 1 part we will not be able to calculate because that we will get in fraction only. So we will take beta 12:32, we will cut it. So we will see that we can cut with 4, 4 3s are 12 and 4 8s are 32. Okay, so we will get 3:8. So what we write over here, 3 parts of carbon will combine with 8 parts of oxygen and will form how much carbon dioxide? 3 plus 8, because law of conservation of mass is this. So it will become 8 plus 3 will be equals to 11. Okay, so see, the mass ratio of carbon and oxygen in carbon dioxide is 3:8. This suggests that 11 gram of carbon dioxide will be formed. Means 3 gram plus 8 gram will equals to 11 gram. We are going to start next topic, mixtures. Beta, you all know now that elements and compounds, they are pure substances. What about now mixture? Mixture is an impure substance. And what is mixture, beta? For example, water and carbon dioxide both are compounds. We have studied. Okay. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen elements, and carbon dioxide made up of carbon and oxygen elements. Now, when we mix carbon dioxide and water together, then we get mixture. So, mixture is what? This is a combination. This is a combination of two compounds, two or more compounds. But combination doesn't mean that compounds, they will be chemically bonded to each other. They will be physically mixed only. Okay, they will be mechanically mixed only. There will be no chemical relation between the two compounds. Now beta, we have different examples of mixtures. So very first example is air. Air is a mixture. Now why air is a mixture? Because we know that in air we have different elements like nitrogen, oxygen and noble gases, and also carbon dioxide. Okay, so all these gases, they are present in air, so that's why air is a mixture. Same way, carbon dioxide and water, when we mix together, then we will get what? We will get mixture. Carbon dioxide is a compound, water is also a compound. When we mix these two compounds together, we will get mixture. Now see beta, elements, they cannot be divided into simpler substances by chemical as well as by physical means. Elements, they combine to form compounds. They are chemically binded to each other. Now when we mix two compounds together and they will not chemically combine, that is only mixture. So another example of mixture we have like natural water. Now natural water is mixture. Why? Because in natural water we will have a dissolved air, we will have a different salts. Salts means we will have a different compounds of metals with chlorides, sulfates or hydrogen carbonates. Metals will be like magnesium or calcium. Same way beta, seawater is also a mixture, because in seawater we have like salt, we have dissolved air, we have water. Okay, so that's why this is a mixture. Now mixture is a impure substance. Here you can underline impure substance. Mixture is a impure substance. So beta, the different pure substances which a mixture is made up of are called as the components of mixture. Means, for example, if we talk about the natural water, so in natural water we know that dissolved air is present, salts, they are present, water will be there. Okay, so these all are components of natural water. Same way, if we talk about air, what are different components of air? Air is a mixture, so different components will be different types of elements that will be present, or different types of compounds that will be present. So for air we will have a different components like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, noble gases. These all are components of mixture, air. Now what is definition of mixture beta? A mixture is a substance which can be split into two or more pure substances by physical means such as filtration, sublimation or distillation. And why they can split into simpler substances? Because here compounds or elements, they will not be chemically binded to each other, so they will be separated by physical methods. Keep in mind beta, elements nor split into simpler substances by chemical means, neither by physical. Compounds only by chemical, not by physical, and mixture can be by physical too. Now what are different examples of mixture? First one is air, like we have studied, because in air many gases like carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen, noble gases, then water vapors, all are present, so that's why air is a mixture. Then natural water, because here we will have a presence of water. Then dissolved air, some salts they are present, so that's why natural water is a mixture. Now food stuff is also mixture, like rice, wheat, pulses, vegetables, fruits, milk, butter, meat and fish, all are mixtures, because in all we know that we have different components like proteins, vitamins, salts, sugar, stuff, phage, water, all things are present. Okay, so that's why food stuff is also a mixture. Medicines, they are also mixtures, because in medicines we know that different compounds, chemical compounds, they are added. Okay, one compound may be necessary to add because that compound may be beneficial to treat any problem, but another compound can also be added in order to give flavor or in order to improve the color of medicine. Next example is alloy. Now beta, alloy can be a mixture of metal and metal, can be a mixture of metal or non-metal, or can be a mixture of metal with another metal and non-metal. So here you can see one example, that is the stainless steel, which is a mixture of iron, chromium and nickel, all are metals. Steel, which is a mixture of iron, carbon and manganese. Iron and manganese, these are metals, and carbon is non-metal. Another example, brass, which is a mixture of copper and zinc. Bronze, which is a mixture of copper and tin. Same way beta, gold can also be mixed with silver. So this is another type of mixture. So another example of mixture is like cement. Cement and glass, they are mixtures of silicates of metals. Then if we talk about cement beta, cement is a mixture of calcium silicate and aluminum silicate. Glass is a mixture of sodium silicate, potassium silicate and lead silicates. So here you can see that number of compounds present in each, in cement as well in glass. So these are mixtures. Another example is like minerals. Next we will study characteristics of a mixture. First one, the component of a mixture can be present in any proportion. In compound we have studied that elements will be present in fixed proportion, but here components in a mixture can be present in any proportion. For example, we know air is a mixture of many gases, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, noble gases. So all these gases can be present in any proportion, means any amount of these gases can be present. Same way, mixture of carbon dioxide and water, carbon dioxide can be present in any amount, water can be present in any amount. In natural water, dissolved air is present, salts they are present, then water is present, so they will be present in any proportion or in any amount. Next we have the components of a mixture coexist without chemically reacting with one another, means they will not chemically react with one another, they will be physically present only, they will be mechanically mixed. Example, in air, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, noble gases, water vapors, means moisture will be present, and they all will present and will not react with one another. Okay, same way we know that if we talk about a mixture of water and sugar, then water and sugar will not react chemically with one another. In soil we know that mud is present, then stones are present, many more things present, but they not chemically react with one another. Same way in cold drink, water is present, carbon dioxide present, sweetener present, they all will not react with one another, they are only mechanically mixed. Next, the components of a mixture retain their properties, means for example, when we add sugar to water, we get mixture of sugar and water, then sugar remains sweet in taste, it will give sweeter taste to the solution also. Okay, so components of mixture retain their properties. Like in compound we have studied elements, they will change their properties when they will combine with one another, but in mixture they will retain their properties. So example is like hydrogen and oxygen, both are gases, and in air also they have same properties. In air, which is a mixture, they are present, they have same properties. Same way, when we mix water and sugar together, then water and sugar, they will retain their properties. Then the component of a mixture can be separated by physical means. Like beta, we know that when we mix salt or sugar in water, we get a mixture. So from that mixture we can get sugar and water, or salt and water back. Okay, so that's why they are only physically mixed and they can be separated by physical methods. Next we have a types of mixtures. Mixtures are of different types beta. It can be solid mixture, it can be liquid, it can be gaseous. So solid mixture, first type is solid mixture, then liquid mixture, then gaseous mixture. Solid mixture means when we mix two solids together. For example, soil, okay, mixture of sand, mixture of mud, mixture of stones, many more things. Same way we have a liquid mixture, for example mixture of oil and water. Then gaseous mixture, for example air, all are gases, water vapors, carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, all are gases. Then mixture can be solid liquid, means one component will be solid, second will be liquid. It can be solid gas, means one will be solid, second will be gas. It can be liquid and gas, means liquid can be mixed with gas. Now another types of mixtures, mixture can be homogeneous, can be heterogeneous. Now beta, homo means same and hetero means different, okay. So whenever in a mixture we will have a same composition throughout, we will call a homogeneous mixture. Whenever composition will be different throughout, then it will be a heterogeneous mixture. So a mixture which has same composition and properties throughout will be called as homogeneous, and a mixture which has different composition or different properties in different parts will be called as heterogeneous mixture. For example, you can see over here we have no same composition throughout, so it is a heterogeneous mixture. Here you can see in cold drink, we know that sweetener is present, carbon dioxide is present, and water is present, but we are not able to see all these three things over here because they are completely same everywhere, okay. They are completely present in same amount everywhere. So this is homogeneous mixture. So a fizzy drink is a example of homogeneous mixture because in fizzy drink sweetener, then water and carbon dioxide will be present, and the presence of these three things will be same throughout. Then oil in water is a heterogeneous mixture because when we add oil to water, we will be able to see oil and water separately, okay. So this is a heterogeneous mixture. So here we have a few examples of mixtures beta. Solid example is like alloy. Alloy like a mixture of copper and zinc, which is called as brass. Steel, mixture of iron, carbon and manganese. Stainless steel, mixture of iron, chromium and nickel. These all are homogeneous mixtures. Heterogeneous mixture like mixture of sand and salt, mixture of salt and pepper, mixture of chalk and sugar. These all are solids in state, and all when we mix with one another, we will be able to see separately them. Then liquid mixture example is the solution of spirit in water. Then heterogeneous oil and water. Next we have gaseous mixture, example is like gases, that is the mixture of gases like air. So solid liquid mixture, example is like a mixture of salt or sugar in water, and heterogeneous like sand in water or chalk in water. Then solid in gas, we have a heterogeneous mixture like smoke, which is a mixture of soot and air. Then liquid gas mixture like fizzy drink, or air in water, air dissolved in water, air which is gaseous in state, water which is liquid in state. Then mist is also example of liquid in gas mixture which is of a heterogeneous type, because here we will have a droplets of water means liquid and air means gas will be present over here.